Hey team, this is Ripper here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today you got a fun video with the topic of U.S. destroyers. Yes, the one and only favorite destroyer line that I actually really enjoy playing lately as of late. And it's been amazing, and this is kind of like a tribute just to get us ready for the new American destroyer line that's coming out with the Burrows and that line as well. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. You see value what we're doing here today. Go ahead and smash those buttons. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoy and get something out of this. And as always, thanks for all the support as always. So, yeah, basically the 14.6 update has hit. It's about another 6 days or so as the recording of this video. Waiting for the new destroyer line to come out, which will absolutely be powerful, horrendous, and I believe almost busted OP or broken with the amount of sap shells. It's kind of like a double barrel Sherman kind of line where you get sap that does amazing damage in your open water gunboating with the smoke screen that is on demand. So I'm going to really enjoy that. Looking forward to actually playing that line and testing it out. Really debating whether I want to use the proceeds from this channel in order to, get the early access to it. But again, I don't recommend doing the early access in any event or giving them more money when you could just grind it out later. But that's another story. But let's talk about how to play American destroyers. We're going to take a look at the Gearing. We're going to take a look at the Humphreys and the Hull. I played Tier 9 Fletcher during ranked, but since we're just playing ranked, I don't have enough time to do all these videos, so I'll just pick the Tier 10 right now of what you can actually get right now in the game, which is the Gearing, the Humphreys, and the Hull right now, all available in the game. But how do you play destroyers? Well, you can see right now the bread and butter of the, in my personal opinion, the U.S. destroyers is really the all-around gunboat play of just going in, capping, and being that versatile utility destroyer. The downside being it doesn't have any heals is why I don't like. I wish that they, like the USS Sims or Kid, that they would have heals like the Tier 10, but for some reason they don't give you, any heals. So what you got to do is basically play stealthy combat role, pick your fights when you need them, and like for example, you're also hunting submarines. So if we have a submarine player right here, we're going to go with, not only do we cap when we spot it for the team, but we're also going to go with the anti-destroyer, anti-submarine kind of mentality to warfare. So as you can see right here, I'm really creeping along, not really exposing myself, waiting for that proper engagement. I see a submarine off my 1 o'clock. I'm going to take a look and kind of help cap this Charlie area right here. And of course, not expose myself to any kind of incoming fire as of yet, because remember, we only have a fixed amount of HP or health pool points, so we got to save them. Also, the bread and butter of the destroyer line is the guns are great, but the torpedoes are amazing. So look at this range, 16.5 kilometer range on torpedoes is, and the fact that they can go that far and still pack a wallop and are somewhat undetectable and kind of sneak up on you is pretty incredible. Submarine shows itself right here, so we're going to head and shoot our guns. Notice the firepower, 3-barrel, double-barrel kind of gun setup. That's exactly what I like. I like having this kind of double-barrel setup. If you can have one extra gun, that'd be awesome. It'd be great. We do as much damage as we can on the submarine, and he goes down right off the bat right there. And now we are going into cap and spot for our team. Now, notice the mini-map there. I do have a Shimakaze pestering and harassing our ships. We do not want that. We don't want a Shimakaze taking a flank and killing our ships. So we're not going to pick a fight with a Des Moines right there because he's got radar, 10-kilometer radar. Again, you got to know these things. As you can see, I have the mods up. Thank God the mods are back. As of recording this video, it wasn't while I was playing, but now today at this moment as of recording, I can actually bring them up on the replay. You can see Des Moines has 10-kilometer radar, so we're not going to mess with that. So we've capped the spot. We did our job. We went out to spot. We kind of maybe thwarted off a submarine gameplay tactic right there, and then we capped and spotted for the west or eastern flank, and now we're going to go help our battleship here, the Shikashima, which is pretty much defenseless against the Shimakaze. So what we're going to do is we're going to go straight at the Shimakaze. Notice on the mini-map, I know where the threat ring is for the Des Moines radar. So obviously, I basically can outgun a Shimakaze. Shimakazes are weak. Their guns are weak. I know I outgun them. So basically, I'm going to go straight at him, okay? Because even though he outspots me, as you can see right here on the display, he has got a Shimakaze 5.6. My detection is 5.9. So he'll spot me. I got to drive in for 0.3, and then I'll attack. So let's see where he is right now. So he's probably going to attack me first. There it is. Detect me. I just got to drive another 0.3, and there we go. 0.3 right there. Look how fast that 0.3 comes up. And here's the engagement right here. Notice that he is looking at me with his torpedo. So I know he's got his torpedoes ready. He probably launched them about 2.5 minutes ago, so he probably has them ready to go. I'm watching for splashes, He's looking at me. He's not firing his gun. There are the splashes right there. If you saw him right there, there are splashes, and he didn't fire his guns at me, which tells me right there's the torpedoes. So now all I got to do is slam on the brakes, and I anticipate, and then now go nose in. It gives you the best possibility to maneuver, and that's how you take out an enemy shimakaze right there. Because I know his smoke, he just used his smokes, therefore he's got a cooldown for it, which means he's defenseless. He can't hide from me. And that's the downside. I don't have radar or hydro or anything. That's the only downside about the American destroyers, except for the Sherman. No, I haven't played the Sherman yet, but we'll play. That'll be its own video because the Shermans are really horrendously powerful. But I'm really just doing basic destroyer gameplay. I think I can do a better job in a Gearing than I can a Sherman for doing basic destroyer gameplay. And you're going to see the majority of the game is this, and this is why I hate random sometimes. It's the majority of the time I'm literally just sailing around for the next, 10 minutes? I've been sailing around for 10 minutes. I mean, that's all I did, really. And I engaged maybe for 15 seconds there. So what other things do I like about the destroyer line? I like about the fact that it has decent, somewhat speed. It's not the fastest destroyer out there, but it can get around the map. But again, look how long you got to drive. The spot detection is also amazing. 5.9 is a great detection. If all American DDs had that, it'd be great. Fletcher has it. Gearing has it. Sherman does not. Hull does not. Humphreys has a 5.9. That's okay. We'll talk about that in a bit. And, of course, the smoke screens are also amazing because the smoke screen, as you can see down here, lasts for about two minutes and change. So that's kind of like what we just did, the videos about the Hariguma line with its extended smoke screen as well. Well, basically, this is the American traditional smoke screen baked into the whole thing, where you get almost pretty much a 2-minute smoke screen, which can shield an entire wall of ships. It's incredible. Engine boost active here, getting up to about 38.9 knots. And the maneuver really is great in the Gearing. I love it. I think it turns very well and moves around, accelerates well with engine boost. So that's pretty much it. It's just a very simplistic design. It is nothing too cosmic. Launching torpedoes, or you got to watch this torpedo shot right there. It's going to hit the submarine, which I'm like, no freaking way. What are the odds of me hitting a submarine? I thought that was incredible right there. I actually have to take a shot at this. I'm going to take the camera out and take a look at this. So you can see the torpedoes, man, they sneak up on you, okay? There it is, and it wins the game. Yes. He goes down. It feels so satisfying. We can even kill submarines that way, ladies and gents, right there. Submarine down. You notice that's how we win a game. It wasn't crazy at all, ridiculous. It was a simple game. We didn't do much. But let's see, just based on the spotting, capping, and everything, we are top 3 of the team. So that's the USS Gearing in a nutshell. Just like basically playing, don't rush your death. Go simple into the cap. Spot for your team. Smoke up, torpedo, and so forth. But that's it, man. That's the USS Gearing right there. Nothing crazy, but I had better games in it. This is the only one we had with the new update. Let's take a look at our next one, which is basically the super ship version of the Humphreys. I know, yes, people don't like super ships, but it's enjoyable. It's a destroyer, but let's take a look at the J. Humphreys. So what do I like about the J. Humphreys? It really is nothing too cosmic. It's the same thing as a Gearing, honestly. It just has a little bit more health, and it's got the burst fire gimmick. That's pretty much it. I mean, it does its job. Yeah, Humphreys has this burst fire, which I really don't use that often because, I mean, the reload rate is horrendously long. 29-second to wait just to get a 50% reduction in firepower and a burst fire. If this was like a Zorky or something, yeah, maybe. But with only 3 gun turrets, it's really not that great. But you can still learn how to play destroyer even with this super ship. It really operates just like a Gearing. Really, like I said, I just creep in 3/4 speed. I don't rush to my death. I kind of wait for the engagement to happen. I'll spot for my team first, let them start shooting, getting in on the action, and then you kind of loiter around the area and wait for opportunities of, targeting. Now, the torpedoes are pretty much identical to the, and correct me if I'm wrong, they seem identical to the Gearing. 104 resecond. I didn't really build, that's as best I can do. 16.5 kilometer range and 73 knot speed. So really amazing they can go out and reach somebody. Now here I'm picking a fight with a Gdansk because it's a bad idea because he can almost outgun me, I believe. Even with my burst fire gimmick, it's not really all that great. And his guns are way, way better at hitting me than I am at him. But of course it all depends on the player. Now here's the burst fire gimmick right there. I just get a one last salvo in before he goes undetected. Yep, he has that smoke screen, and he's got that 9-kilometer radar. But notice I stayed outside of 9 kilometers, so therefore he wasn't able to detect me. Now, the AA on this ship, I'm wondering... I can't pull up the AA. The AA is okay. I mean, I think J. Humphrey has some... I think decent AA. I mean, I don't know. The Kearsarge is attacking me right now. Let's see here. Let's see the AA. It's got some nice AA on it. No defensive fire A or anything, but from what I saw, the J. Humphreys actually has decent AA for what its class is in the Gearing, as opposed to the Gearing back in the day was great AA. It used to be the trademark and poster child of AA for destroyer, but now I think it got nerfed to the ground, and, you know, CVs nowadays are super powerful. I digress. Anyways, the speed on the destroyer is exactly identical as you saw before. I just like the look of this ship. It just looks amazing. I mean, I like the destroyer aesthetics and everything, just what it can do. Let me see, take a look at it. Look how amazing it looks. Looks really sexy. The gun turrets are amazing too. They're very unique looking guns. Look like almost like futuristic with like radar dome targeting pods on them or whatever. But yeah, that's my thought on it. Pretty darn amazing. All right, so sailing around here, we're going to just basically torp into channels right here. And that's pretty much it. The Gearing and the Humphreys and this torpedo line, if you can reach out to 16.5, you basically are just launching torpedoes into channels of opportunity. And you're kind of just doing a shotgun blast into an area, kind of like area denial, and you're kind of waiting to see what develops and what comes from it. And you're going to get a lot of lucky torpedo hits, especially in a Gearing and a Humphreys. I naturally just get those very cheap I'm sorry, they're cheap hits, but they do a lot of damage. They pack a wallop, and as you saw earlier, these are 73-knot torpedoes if you build for them, which is pretty quick, by the way. And the detection reaction time is about 7 seconds, so it's decent. It's exactly what you needed to do in a very overall rounded destroyer. Kearsarge is coming back at us with the kind of smoke. I'm sorry, for screening and looking for us, and man, hybrid battleships with airplanes. That's interesting. It's not World of Warplanes, World of Warships, right? Anyways, I digress on that. I'm going to start opening up on them just to get them out of here. We're running away, so maybe... Ooh, I got a torpedo hit. See, a random torpedo hit. You get them. And let's see how many flak bursts we can get. I believe it has about 6 or 7 flak bursts, which is decent. They're just going to try to do an attack, and then we're driving right at him. That's how you mitigate attacks. Just drive right at the guy, and he's got to make a decision as to, do I shoot now or just abandon the shot? I believe this is, yep, that is the Gdansk firing at me. And I am not going to mess with him. I'm going to run away. Again, he has an advantage over me because he can sit in smokescreen and radar us at will. And we don't have any heals. We have no radar. We have no hydro. So, again, disengage. So we'll spin this up and speed it up and get us around the corner here. Again, not very sexy gameplay. It's more of that just wait for opportunities to develop while shooting torpedoes and hoping for the best and spotting for our team. We're really relying a lot on our team's firepower. And we got our fellow competitive Gearing over here. He's at 6,000 health, so we have to eliminate him. Only 6K health destroyer. You got to go for it. All right, let's see here. Yep, always go for the destroyers. I know I always complain, why are they shooting at me? But I am a destroyer, so I understand why people are shooting. They're taking my advice. Ooh, he gets a nice El Cantones torpedo right there. Now that we've fired, we're now exposed. Now everybody's going to fire at us because everybody knows you kill the destroyer, right? And that's what I teach, and I guess I have to live by those rules as well. I know I hate it when people always shoot at me because, I mean, I complain, but look at those torpedoes. Look at that. See, again, random torpedoes. I'm telling you, just shooting them in the channel, looking for opportunities. And let's see how they do. We'll turn the A on just to get this Kearsarge out of the way. And let's take a look. Are these torpedoes going to actually connect? Boom. Take out the Gdansk. Thank goodness. Look at that. Lucky torpedo. I'm telling you, lucky torpedo hits. And I get that all the time in Gearings, Humphreys, Fletchers. I mean, American torpedoes are just random hitters. All right. We do a little bit of shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake. And we dodge a lot of shells. Gearings are very well known for just being able to dodge and throttle juke and just throw off a lot of shots. Humphreys the same way. And airplanes are down 101,000 damage right there, ladies and gents. And now we're doing what we're supposed to do as a destroyer. We're going to stay undetected and go in and cap. So again, nothing too sexy. It's nothing glamorous, no gimmicks or anything. It really is just, even with the F funny button, I really don't use the funny button because it doesn't work very well. Because I don't want to wait 50 seconds, you know, for a reload rate. Is that what the reload rate is again? Yeah. Reload time, sorry, 27.5 seconds. My bad, I misspoke there. All right, Kearsarge right there, having fun. We'll get a nice couple shots on him. And we'll smoke up, and this is also the very simplistic back in the day of just HE farm. Look at this, the amount of smoke screen time I have, 122 plus seconds right there. And now we're just going to farm from damage, but he goes down anyways, and now we're doing our basic destroyer. We're going to go ahead and spot and see if we can get some shots on this guy. Now, the Gearing and Humphrey guns are 127mm. They start fires really, really well. They're awesome. So we got 2,300 damage just on shooting the guy's hull right there. doing a burst fire gimmick just to get a couple shells before it goes behind islands. That's the time I really use the burst fire, is right at the very last when I know I can't shoot anymore. I go undetected and I burst fire. He's probably going to go die there. Now, the problem also with the Gearing in the American line is the shells are very, very floaty. Yes, you can see how long the flight time is to get. They're not like a Dansk or Sherman or, you know, even I would argue Hull. But man, with the Gearing, the Fletcher line, they are really, really lofty shells. Sims and the US Kid, now the good side is they can float over islands. You can literally lob these things over islands like you're shooting 3-pointers from the way back line right there. But really, it's very, very difficult to lead. Takes forever. By the time you see the shells coming, you can actually maneuver out of the way of them sometimes. So I really don't like it for that reason. But again, they're good for lobbing over islands. But I really don't see many people doing that as much in a destroyer. You're really out there out front, you know, taking a lot of fire, and a lot of hits, and a lot of trying to take a lot of enemy incoming fire. But really, this is the bread and butter right here. Just gunboating. You don't care about the loft or lobbing over islands. I'm really just shooting. And look, I'm just keeping my free look here. I'm looking around. And I'm making sure as I watch the Takashi's shells come in, I can know when to dodge, when to maneuver. You see, that's why I do a free look a lot. You want to do that as a destroyer, too. You want to free look a little bit to keep your situational awareness up. Just like these torpedoes coming out of nowhere, you don't want to take an unnecessary torpedo. Always use free look, which is the right mouse button. While you're shooting, you can do this, so you keep the guns not only facing in the right direction, but keep firing, but also giving you that situational awareness to know what you're doing. All right, let's see if we can take out this Takahashi. Let's see, we can do it just front 2 guns here. Now he's looking at us. He's looking at us. Yep. We're the only guy spotted detected right now in the area. So obviously this makes sense that he's firing at us. Reload rate's not bad. I like it. About 2-second reload. Not the greatest, but it's good enough. It's decent. I like 2-second reloads. All right, Takashi goes down, and let's basically win the game. Look at that. Pretty much another blowout. Very, very simplistic here. Now we're going to just drive and chase up a tree down. Let's see if we can take him down with guns or maybe torpedoes. Yeah, now that he is by himself, we pretty much just open up at this point. And you can take a look at the guns right here. Great reload. Look, I get 1, 2, 3 salvos in the air before the first shell hits. That tells you how lofty these things are. Oh yeah, did I tell you that they just redid the gun sounds? The gun sounds are amazing, incredible. Kudos for Wargaming's audio department. I'm really, really enjoying it. It makes the game just have a little bit more depth and oomph to it, I think. It feels great. Now I'm excited to actually shoot the guns, because then I get to hear this incredible sound, and you can hear it in the background. But it's really, really good. I like it now. All right, 3,000 health left. He's looking at us. He's looking at us. He fired a shell, and we take out the Patrie. Yes, and we slam on the brakes right there, avoiding a shot. Unnecessary shot right there. Launching torpedoes straight into the smoke there, and that's pretty much it. I mean, this game is pretty much Dunsky. The scores up there are backwards, so that's the Humphreys in a nutshell. It does its job. It's a great U.S. American destroyer. Does everything you needed to do, and then some. Very easy, very simplistic destroyer to learn how to play. Notice this engagement. I'm not going to stick around. Here's a burst fire because I know he's about to go undetected. And he's got a radar on us, so I cannot hang around here. I'm basically going to just turn away, disengage. There's no point of actually engaging the black. He's going to melt us down, especially with our low HP right now. We're only 3,000 left. If he was able to connect, if I just sat there and at close ranges and with his radar, he would have been able to melt us and take us out. But fortunately, we were able to kite away and run away and save and live and fight another day. You can see right there, he's got single barrel turrets. That's why I don't like the single barrel turrets. The dispersion is not the greatest. And of course, you die that way. Widespread, just doing a shotgun blast in the area, and hopefully we hit him. But that's it. I mean, look at that, 159,000 damage, 2 kills, and we just did basic destroyer gameplay. You don't have to do anything too crazy, too cosmic, and that usually wins the games for you, and we win on points that way. But that is the J. Humphreys. But let's take a look at one of my, I would say, all-time top favorite destroyers right now is the USS Hall. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Des Moines on a Forrest Sherman body, and it is wild, okay? So let's take a look how we did in the team. Number 1 in the team in destroyer, just doing basic destroyer things, okay? 1 million potential damage. That's just annoying right there. You are an annoying destroyer if you get above 1 million. So let's take a look at my favorite U.S. destroyer, the USS Hall. All right, USS Hall coming at you right now. Really, really awesome. Now, the difference with this line being played is you don't play it like the concealment of J. Humphreys and Gearing, you pretty much are open water gunboating, and it is incredible of what this thing can do, especially when you have Des Moines caliber guns. We're not going to really go into the cap really, because look at our concealment, 6.5, and we got great AA, by the way, with the DFA against a tier 8, so I'm not too scared of a tier 8 CV or carrier. But again, you can't really go into a cap and contest it too heavily, because you're out detected by almost everything. 6.5 kilometer detection is not the greatest, but we're not playing it like that. We are literally going to do what you're going to see right here, is go guns loud and firing away, just dishing out hate while capping as well. So if you can take the cap, you might as well. And I'm just taking as much damage as I can off of a tier 8 battleship, especially a tier 8. The Hull can really do some amazing damage, and it's pretty much it. I mean, it's just open water, pure gunboat. And the problem with this is, for the enemy that is, it's hard to kill a hull. I mean, I'm telling you, broadside hip arrayer. It's hard to kill it, man. With the engine boost active and everything, you are literally accelerating and throttle juking a lot of ships. 2,500 damage there. I wish I had to hit a Citadel. But you are throttle juking back and forth, left and right, and it is incredibly difficult sometimes to hit a hull that's really just being able to just juke these shells. Look at that. See, the North Carolina just whiffed his entire shot right there. And now he's got like a 25 to 30 second reload, which is not great. Now you got everybody shooting at me. Submarines, you got cruisers, you got aircraft carriers. The hull is literally the cockroach of World of Warships. Look at somebody shot at us with, Michelangelo shot at us with the sap shells there. We are literally tanking up to 300,000 damage so far in the first couple minutes of the game. And now, really just being that annoying, we have to egress the area because we are just getting focus fire down. We have a submarine also just throwing homing torpedoes at us. So again, that's how you play the hull in this kind of line, and Sherman included. You cannot linger around, hold in areas too long because of this reason. Look, we also have the super heal, which allows us basically to just bring back our ship from hell and death and just heal back all that thing. Again, that's what makes this thing the cockroach. It's so hard to kill. It's so frustrating. Now, the Sherman, you can sit in smoke, again, in a cap, but again, I've always recommended do not linger in smoke too long, especially if it's just all quiet right now, because now you'll probably notice that people are just going to torp the crap out of the smoke, and you may not know where a radar threat could be at, or hydro threat. So that's why lingering in smoke is not the greatest idea. It's always best to either keep at a quarter speed slow crawl or keep moving. Notice we're entering the cap again one more time to try out this capping of Charlie. But again, if we are unable to cap it, we can always egress the area, try to live and fight another day. And that's pretty much all we're doing here. So let's speed this up, this capping. We'll speed it up. Ooh, this North Carolina wants to come back and play. And just watch what we're going to do here. Now that we've capped the spot, we're going to go into our next mode of just melting down battleships. See, look at the power of what the Hull's Des Moines caliber guns can do. 203 millimeter guns are just incredibly and amazing and just melts battleships, especially at tier, like I said, tier 9 as well. Even tier 10, man, these things just pack a wallop. Okay, everybody's firing at us now. North Carolina's shell dispersion actually is pretty incredible. He actually gets a hit on us for that shot right there. So kudos on him, good shot. Unfortunately, look at our shells just plunging right into his deck right there and just taking a lot of HP off of him right now. He's going like, whoa, what the crap is this destroyer doing to my ship right now? And I'm just doing free looking for that submarine that's sitting in the back behind me. I damage con that, get the lock off. Now we're gonna go back to shooting at the North Carolina. Love the sound of the guns, by the way. Just take it all in. God, look at that, 2,300 damage. We're going to be punishing a lot of North Carolinas today. No, he's probably going to get hit by carrier. If you hate carriers, report him. Yeah, I'm sorry, battleship, you got hit by a carrier. What can I say? That's the nature of the game these days. Air Force and World of Warships. All right, so let's go support our Alpha team who's getting harassed by one little destroyer. Isn't that sad that one little destroyer can make a commissar, North Carolina Blitzer, just completely terrified to do anything? So that's what you have to do as a good destroyer player. You're going to have to go in there and contest the area and try to take on this other destroyer and get them out, because otherwise they'll just render your entire team just defenseless. They have no idea what to do. It's just like they just go brain dead. All right, let's see. We're spotted right here. I got my engine boost up. Oh, yeah, this is not a fair fight right here. A 5,000 health Akazuki. Switching to HE right now. Basically, Des Moines HE. It's just not a fair fight right there. Just amazing amount of firepower. Turn into the destroyer. If he launched torpedoes, always, always, always turn in. to give yourself some wiggle room and also to mitigate damage from a torpedo spread. Most guys will typically look at their predictive marker and fire their torpedoes at that predictive marker, so it's better just to turn into it and slow down, just throw off the shot. All right, now we're shooting at the other North Carolina. Yes, so look at him. Now he's like, oh crap, I'm not going to deal with the hull. Let me turn back around. The hull can, look, one little destroyer can make the entire, what did I just do right there? Did I just Citadel him? Holy mackerel. I'm telling you, these guns are incredible. I Citadel a battleship from these ranges. That's pretty wild. So right there, you can literally scare off an entire flank of ships or what by yourself. And look at that. We just held off an entire flank at Alpha with one little destroyer. And now hopefully my team will come back and looks like we may not win this game. TLDR, I mean, I can only do so much. I can only cap so many caps at one time. I can only scare away so many ships at a time, but that's the nature of the beast right there. All right, capped Alpha, so it keeps us in the game. And let's see if we can, how else can we be useful? I guess we'll go back and cap Charlie again to help out our team, because apparently nobody in my team wants to cap anything. All right, so let's go back to Charlie and do some kind of damage. At this point, the game is pretty much lost. This is just shooting around, having fun, just dick around. Maybe we'll kill a ship on the way down. Cossack goes down. Thought about going to Bravo, but Charlie, I mean, then I wanted to switch to Bravo now because now I see a Stalingrad. Ooh, look at that Stalingrad. Nice broadside, though. Let's see what we can do against a Stalingrad. Now, we can Citadel Stalingrad because these are, you know, cruiser-like guns here, so we just got to find that sweet spot. Now, the dispersion is not the greatest on the hull. It just, I wish it was better horizontal and better dispersion, vertical dispersion, like maybe a Sherman does. But unfortunately, you don't get that. I think it would be overpowered at that point if it did. Aircraft carrier coming in to play with this again. I'm not going to even pay attention. I got the DFA up. There's nothing more I can do. I don't even have my engine boost right now, but I do have a nice full broadside. Yeah, see, what am I supposed to do against a carrier? Just dodge. Ooh, look at this right here. Nice shot right there. Oh, man, if that would 2100, that would have been it right there. Parsifal. Carrier also takes the kill as well. My gosh. Carrier is just having a fun time today. More carrier action against us. Not liking in this. Not enjoying World of Warships or World of Warplanes. Takes out our torpedo. We only got 2 of them. My God. All right, so let's see if we can take out this Carolina. Let's say, actually see if we can Citadel him again. This is another Carolina, by the way. Let's see if we can Citadel him. I can't believe we can Citadel. So pretty much, I'm just aiming at a superstructure, but for some reason, I'm landing sometimes the shells on his hull and maybe the Citadel area. And that would be pretty cool too if I Citadel him. But man, that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to get right at that midsection. And we're getting those nice juicy hits right there. Just random shells going everywhere. I'm just being consistent with the aiming, but man, oh, look at that. I got a Citadel. I didn't even plan that. I'm telling you. You can Citadel in North Carolina. That is incredible right there. As you can tell, this game's pretty much over. I mean, it's 3 versus 8. Not really a fair fight. I don't know why he's not looking at me. This guy's just firing straight ahead. I guess he wants to kill the carrier. But unfortunately, we take out the battleship. He goes down. Splash 263,000 damage. That's what you can do in this little destroyer right here, okay? But this game's pretty much over, and can't really hunt the submarine. We're too slow. But what do you guys think of the USS Hall? The American line, incredible. I may play another game in the Sherman to give you a video. Yeah, let me try to do another video with the Sherman just to give you one more glimpse of American destroyers, because that thing is horrendous and pretty dang powerful. But that's USS Hall right there, ladies and gents. 163,000 damage. How did we do with citadeling battleships at this tier, which is pretty remarkable, incredible. Number 1 in the team again. My gosh, what happened to my team? 434 base XP? I didn't even know you get that low. 1 million damage, potential damage again, and classified annoying. But let's take a look at the Sherman. Yes, one of my favorite destroyers, the USS Forrest Sherman. Okay, here we go. The final video with the Sherman here. One of my favorite destroyers as well. Still, I think the USS Hall does a better job, in my personal opinion, with it. But because it has the engine boost, it gives it a little bit more speed. As you can tell, the Sherman is one of the slowest destroyers out there without engine boost. You're only getting up to base speeds of 33.9 if you tick the flag on it, which is 35 knots. That's it. I mean, you really don't get much out of this thing. So you're not chasing down destroyers. You're not chasing down... maybe later on I'm going to show you we can chase down a submarine maybe, but Yeah, it is really difficult to destroy or kill with this thing. However, the bread and butter of this thing is the guns. You can melt down cruisers and battleships with ease. The trajectory arc angles are great, 15.1 kilometer range, and you get sap as well. So I'm starting to see the American destroyer line bidding with the sap right here. Hull's got the Des Moines caliber guns, a lot of firepower in the destroyers, making this game starting to become kind of broken in randoms with these destroyers, especially with the new Burrows coming out, which I'm definitely going to try to get. You know, basically you can do a lot of this sap hate. Now imagine a Sherman with double barrel sap shells, and that's essentially what kind of Burrows is like. And then with the amount of reload and the quick on-demand smokes, notice we only get 2 smokes, hydro and defensive A here. That's pretty much it, but man, when this thing's rocking and rolling, you could just melt down the entire fleet, I'm telling you, okay? Especially with the American smoke that lasts almost 2 minutes, or 2 minutes plus. Torpedoes are standard Sherman and Hull. They're basically those single launch torpedoes. I don't really use them too much. You may get a random hit here and there, but this is what you're seeing in the background here is just non-stop firepower hate right there. And we just start tons of fires. Once he's on fire, you switch to sap shells. The reload rate's like, what, 1.1 seconds-ish? You're getting some incredible reads. Imagine if this was double barrel guns. Man, the DPM would be out through the roof. Yeah, I mean, pretty much what is a GK supposed to do? And again, what I just do a video about the GK, you know, being one of the rare ships these days. This is probably one of the few times I've seen someone pick a GK. But you can see they melt very easily. And this is why it doesn't work too well in randoms. The battleship line is just obsolete, honestly, in randoms. But that's why I like to play. If I wanted to play a battleship, I'll play Unbreakable Line or asymmetric battles. I think you get your best bang for your buck in that regard. But I don't think the battleship gameplay can survive with the amount of gimmicks that we have out there with carriers, subs, and this right there. First blood, first kill, splash 1. With the amount of destroyer firepower that's out there these days, it is very, very difficult. Now, I'm not saying impossible. I'm just saying it is not as enjoyable as it would be in another mode, where randoms is just a, you know, melt battleship down fest. Where, what else can you do? I mean, look at the ranges. I'm only at 12.8 while my guns go out to 15.1. I could literally farm from 15 kilometers out. Now, would I hit anything is another story, but just look at the amount of firepower I'm dealing out on this guy. I mean, Libertad is still a broken kind of secondary ship, but man, what are you supposed to do when you got this amount of firepower coming at you and burning you down? He's got his funny button key active. You can see the lights on the ship right there. You see all the lights active there. He's got his funny button key active, which means his secondaries go out to 14 kilometers now. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to help him too much because, look, we started another fire. Just constantly raining down shells. He's got submarine torpedoes going at him right now. He's got other destroyer torpedoes. He's getting blasted from the Sibir? I don't know how to pronounce that. New ship, probably. Test ship. And, yep. Look at that. And he's got the deep... Oh, no, those are submarine torpedoes. Again, if you don't like submarines, report them, because I don't like this gameplay right there. Look at homing torpedoes. What's he supposed to do? You can't outmaneuver a homing torpedo on a battleship, in my personal opinion. All right. They need to balance that out. All right, see. Oh, dang. Somebody got killed by a submarine. Sap shells work very well in the submarine. Now, let's do our job as a good destroyer player. Is not only do we suppress a fire an area down, which eliminates everybody, now we're going to basically go down and hunt either the submarine or the shimikaze in that smoke. So I got my hydro up 5 kilometers. Now, not the greatest hydro. 5 kilometers, not the best detection range. It's there if you need it to really just spot torpedoes and if you want to rush smoke like that right there. And right here, sap shells. Look how much sap shells can do to a sub. But he goes underwater again. That's why I hate subs. I mean, basically, come up and go back down. I mean, where's the gameplay in that? Now, the downside about him is I guess he doesn't realize I have hydro because I have a 2 kilometer hydro active right here. And while I'm getting shot at for free spotting right there against the Guden Lao. But you know what? We'll get as close as we can now. Look how slow I am. But I was still able to manage to catch up to the U4501. And now I'm just going to perma-spot him all day long. Hopefully somebody has the balls and brains enough to actually drop maybe a depth charge on him. Thank you, Libertad. Good job there. There's one hit. And his reload's way too long. So now all I can do is just drive right over him. Drop all my torpedoes right here. Or depth charges. Sorry, depth charges. These are rear launch depth charges. So I'm just dropping them back. There they go, and yay, I get a sub kill. Whoop-de-doo, fun and engaging, yep. But that is what you're supposed to do as a destroyer player. I mean, you're literally supposed to hunt down the destroyers, hunt down the submarines, suppress the fire in area against battleships to free up your battleship so it can do its thing, and also tank damage as well. So this is a lot of sailing around randoms again. All right, here we go. Let's see what we can do against a Plymouth there. Watch what these sap shells can do against a Plymouth. Light cruiser skin is very susceptible to the sap shells. Notice at these ranges, I feel very comfortable aiming. I don't feel like I'm going to miss anything, but look at that, 891 every second. And angling doesn't really do much to you right there. See, look at that. Still getting pins here and there. All right, he's hiding in his, or nobody's spotting for me, so I guess I'll just suppressor fire this area down. And here comes some torpedoes. Plymouth will probably get spotted one more time. Yep, there he is. It's spotted one more time. He's probably going to smoke up, but unfortunately there are torpedoes coming his way from the Yoyang.
Good game, everyone.
Boom, he goes down. Yep, that's torpedo gameplay right there. And then you gotta watch it. So let's see if we can attack some Montana. And again, Sherman's very, very slow, very difficult to get it around, move it around the map. So you really are just kind of a machine gun platform. Think of it like a heavy machine gunner that just really slowly moves around the island. But at least you're a destroyer and you don't have a citadel. Look at these sap shells, just plunging right into them. 892, 891, really great damage chunks right there off the Shimakaze. Now we're gonna start working on the Montana here. He's at 38,000 health, and this is pretty much the gameplay of the Sherman right here. A lot of firepower, a lot of hate going down range. We've got the Hydro up. I may save it just in case I need to spot the Shimakaze torpedoes if they come in. But look at the firepower we can deal at 13.5 kilometers against the Montana skin right here. And I believe, again, imagine what the Burrows can do. If it can pen 38 mil, these sap shells pen 36 millimeters. So you got to be wondering, okay, what kind of armor scheme is being nerfed here? And I don't think that 36 mil pen actually stops. Even if the Burrows has 38 mil pen, I don't really think that it matters for on the Montana, because even 36 or 38 mil pen still pins it. I mean, he's baked in pretty much 32 mil around the bow and the nose, and maybe not the gun turrets and some of those hard armor-plated areas. And we're not shooting right out his what is it, torpedo protection bulk area. So we're really just firing at superstructure. So it doesn't really matter what kind of armor and pen it really does. As long as you hit the superstructure, you're going to get crazy damage. Look at that, 891. One little shell hit his superstructure, and it got him right there. Now we're going to switch to HE and just try to burn this guy down. But wait, hold on. This is another what you're supposed to do. If you see a destroyer, make sure you help out your friendlies and try to kill this guy as fast as possible. See, very accurate at these ranges. Not bad at all. And I like the reload and the fire, the arc angles of the Shermans. Really, really nice. And let's see here. Montana right here is coming. And, oh, man, I think he's going to get torpedoed again. Yep, there are the torpedoes from the submarine. And he goes down to a submarine. Man, submarine was #1 in the team for this match. And that's pretty much it. Now we got to go around hunt the destroyer again. We get help radar from the Sevilla, the roll-hated radar, but now we lost him again. And here's the downside. I hate this against Shimakaze players. All they do is just torp the crap out of you, and I'm just going to take a torpedo off the nose, TLDR, but here, I'll speed it up. I'll show you my death right here. I mean, what else can I, just chase this guy down? The game's pretty much over. He didn't want to call it quits, but he got a torpedo hit on me. That was pretty amazing. So watch this is the downside of the Sherman. So it's not all about pros. It's also about the cons. The maneuverability on the Sherman is not the greatest. So I had to slam on the brakes right here because I was going right in. And then because I did that, I missed the next torpedo on the left. And he got it just perfect enough. Dude, it takes me right out right there. But, hey, we win this match. There's nothing really I could have done in that one, but he did a good job. Kudos to the Shimakaze player, but I hate Shimakaze players for that reason. Just spraying and praying torpedoes and, just gets you right at their last minute. But we win that mound. Dang, we got a lot of points for that one. 139,000 damage, middle of the team. That's a Forrest Sherman nutshell. American destroyers. Can't wait for the new American destroyer line coming out in 5 to 6 days here as a recording of this video. But we did a lot of firepower, a lot of hate, and suppressed the entire area and won the game. But as always, build a bit at the end of the video. Let me know if you like what we're doing here today. Smash those like buttons. I appreciate all the supporters of the channel. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying the videos. And until next time, if you see me out there, make sure you say hello. Take care. Cheers.
Guns are blazing, bold and loud. America
nation.